I'm going to solve this integral using integration by parts and a trig sub. So we are going to start off by doing the integration by parts. As I always do in my videos, I do the DI method, right? D for differentiation and I for integration. So this is the answer to the integral. So you may want to try this integral before you follow the steps in the video. So I'm going to differentiate the sine inverse of x because it's easier to differentiate that than integrating it. And then I am going to integrate x. And now differentiating the sine inverse of x, next one is going to be minus. This is going to be 1 all over the square root of 1 minus x squared. That is the differential of the sine inverse of x. And integrating x is going to be 1/2 x squared. So what we have to do, when we multiply diagonal terms, there's no integral. That you are done with the integral. But when we multiply terms horizontally, we have to take the integral. This is what we have been doing. Right, now we can solve this integral using integration by parts. So the first one, multiplying the diagonal terms, that is going to be 1/2 x squared times the sine inverse of x. See that we have already gotten the first term of our answer. Very easy. And then minus, that is this guy here, minus the integral, because we are multiplying terms horizontally. That is going to be 1/2 x squared multiplied by 1 all over the square root of 1 minus x squared, and then dx, differential operator. This is 1/2 x squared sine inverse of x. Then 1/2 is a constant, it comes in front here. Then the integral of x squared all over the square root of 1 minus x squared, and then dx. And now we are up to the point of doing a trig sub. I'm going to solve this integral using the trig substitution. So let's do that. So I'm going to call that integral I1. So that is equals to the integral of x squared all over the square root of 1 minus x squared, and then dx. Now the trig sub. I am going to let x to be equal to sine of theta. So differentiating, dx is going to be the cosine of theta, the differential of sine of theta is cosine of theta. And now let's take our integral into the theta world. So I1 is going to be the integral. X squared is sine squared of theta, because x is sine of theta, all over the square root of 1 minus sine square of theta. And dx is cosine of theta, d theta. From the Pythagorean identities, we know that sine square of theta, that is 1 minus sine square of theta, is the same as the cosine square of theta from the Pythagorean identities. And now this one is the integral of sine square of theta divided by the square root of 1 minus sine square of theta is the square root of cosine square of theta, and the square root of cosine square of theta is the cosine of theta times the cosine of theta d theta. I1 is going to be equal to this, cancels that, and you are just integrating sine square of theta in the theta world. And now we know from the double angle identities that the sine square of theta is the same as 1/2 into 1 minus the cosine of 2 theta. So let's replace that in our integral and then integrate. So sine square of theta is 1/2 into 1 minus the cosine of 2 theta, the theta. So 1/2 is a constant, it goes in front, and now integrating 1 in the theta world is theta minus integrating cosine of theta. Cosine of 2 theta is 1/2 into sine of 2 theta, like this. I1 is going to be 1/2 into theta minus 1/2. Sine of 2 theta can be written as 2 sine of theta cosine of theta, like this. So this is going to be 1/2 theta minus this, cancels that, and then we have 1/2 sine of theta cosine of theta. So that is the resulting value of the integral I1. Now we have to move back into the x world, right? We have to use the substitution that x is equals to sine of theta. So we already know that x is equals to sine of theta. So x is already equal to the sine of theta. That is our initial substitution. And now from the Pythagorean identities, we know that the cosine square of theta plus the sine square of theta is equals to 1. So that implies that the cosine of theta is equals to the square root of 1 minus the sine square of theta. So cosine of theta in terms of x is going to be the square root of 1 minus sine of theta is x, so sine square theta is x squared. So we can just finish off our integral I1 in the x world to be equal to 1/2 of theta. So as theta is equals to sine of theta is equals to x, that implies that the sine inverse of x is equals to theta. So we are just going to replace theta with the sine inverse of x. So that is theta here. So 1/2 sine inverse of x minus 1/2 sine of theta. Sine of theta is x. Cosine of theta is the square root of 1 minus x squared. This is what we have. That is from here. So this is the integral I1 in the x world. Now let's wrap up our integral. Our integral I is equals to something minus I1. So that is 1/2 x squared sine inverse of x. 1/2 x squared sine inverse of x minus something minus 1/2 multiplied by the integral I1. So minus 1/2 multiplied by the integral I1. The integral I1 is this guy here. That is 1/2 the sine inverse of x minus 1/2 x, the square root of 1 minus x squared. We are done with the constant of integration. Now let's simplify this one to match our initial answer. So 1/2 x squared is sine inverse of x. Now multiplying in, we have 1/4 sine inverse of x. And now minus that's going to be plus 1/4 x, the square root of 1 minus x squared, plus the constant of integration. So this one is the answer to our integral. And that matches the answer I gave in the beginning of the video. So when we go to the top, that is this guy here. This one matches the answer down there. And that is the value of the integral x multiplied by the sine inverse of x dx. So that is how I can solve this integral. If you know an easier way to solve this, please leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what you think. I thank you so much for watching this video. If you really enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to Calculus Diaries for more engaging content on integrals. I thank you and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.